Hi everyone, it has been a minute since I've done one of these chat with me videos and I am really excited to get into this one. But before I start, I want to do a very quick disclaimer and basically state that when I'm discussing this topic, I am aware that I can only speak from personal experience and I can only provide my opinion based on my life experience. I am aware that people who make decisions in their life are doing so with the knowledge they have at that present moment. So every decision we make in life, the decision we're making is based on where we're at that stage in our life and what we know at that stage in our life and how we feel at that stage in our life. And people can change, people's thought process and opinions can evolve and adapt to their environments and just their general day-to-day experiences. So for me, I just want to do a disclaimer that this video isn't necessarily right or wrong. It's just my experience and it's just a journey and process that I've been on and that I want to share. As I feel like the topic is very prominent in today's society. And I think it's interesting to get different perspectives and thoughts out there on certain topics. So in the video, I am going to try and cover quite a lot, but I don't want it to be too long. So this may turn to part 1 and then a part 2 video at a later stage, but we'll see how we get on today. So when I was, what age am I now? I'm 27 years old now. And when I was 23, 22, well, actually, no. From quite a young age, so late teens, I always wanted to get a boob job. So I think the proper term is like breast augmentation. But we're just going to refer to it as a boob job for this video. It rolls off the tongue easier. Yeah, I always wanted to get a boob job. I just had this idea in my head that I needed one and that I'd be happier if I had one. And I'd kind of like go in and out of like the thoughts about it, but like I never really kind of started the process of actually really looking into it until I was about 22. Now, when I went to look into it more and to kind of take myself more seriously with it, I was not in a good place mentally or physically. It would have been a time where I had a lot of self-hatred and feelings of unworthiness or not good enough, and just a lot of external resentment towards myself. Definitely not a healthy place to have been in mentally. As a woman, I felt a lot of pressure to attain a physical image, and I felt like my physical image had a lot to do with defining my worth and had a lot to do with people's acceptance of me, which I am far from in that state today, luckily. It was a stage of my life where I felt a lot of rejection, and I somehow thought that if I put my energy into improving or upgrading my exterior, that my happiness would come from that, and I'd be more likable and basically more acceptable as a female. And my God, was I wrong. But I have to be honest throughout this video, I'm transparent, and that's where I was. So anyway, during that time, I actually really went ahead with the process of finding how much it would cost. I actually went to the clinic in Avoca in Wicklow and had a consultation with one of the breast surgeons or cosmetic surgeons there. And even when I'm thinking about it now, it makes me so sad, because all I want to do now is go back and hug and reassure that young girl that she didn't need to. Now, obviously, I didn't go ahead with it. I've not had any work on my body or face. But at the time, I was really fixated on it. So, yeah, I had a consultation with the surgeon and was talking about different sizes, different types of implants, different ways they'd look. And what he did was he basically did a 3D or 4D scan and showed me what I would look like if I had it, and gave me the images to take home and to kind of sit on and decide, and like play around with different like looks. So yeah, that was just the initial consultation. And then obviously at 22, that was going to be quite a costly procedure to have done. So I next then went to the credit union and started researching how I was going to be able to cover this cost financially, and began the process of requesting a loan. And so had done all that, had taken kind of the main steps, and the next thing was mainly just setting a date and booking it. But part of me was just reluctant. There was always something that was like fearful of it. And then one day I just really broke down and realized that like whatever work that I need to do on myself is not exterior, it's interior, so internal. I need to do a lot of internal work. I realized I needed to, if I was going to make this decision, it needed to be when I was in a space in my life where I felt self-love and not self-hatred. Because making such a decision, which is going to ultimately change your body for the rest of your life, and not to mention bring on a whole set of medical risks, needed to be one that I was going to make, one, when I was in a better place, and two, for the right reasons. Now, I'm not saying there's right or wrong reasons to make these decisions, but I just felt, yeah, I just wasn't in the headspace to make that decision. And thank God that, yeah, I didn't rush it and I didn't jump the boat. And even though I felt so much self-pressure and turmoil about my exterior, I realized, no, I need to find self-love in other forms, and I need to get better. I need to feel whole again and not reliant on my exterior to look a certain way to be happy. I knew that wasn't healthy, but it's all I was clinging to. As I said, I had been in a feeling of rejection. So a few things had happened in my life, and it just kind of like really took me away from myself and shattered pieces of me, which I've rebuilt and I'm much stronger for having done so. But yeah, it was just not a good time to make such a permanent and serious decision. So I didn't, and I am so relieved and happy I didn't make that decision, because for so many reasons. Like, one of the reasons being is that I now know that I'm worthy of acceptance and love, and I now know I'm beautiful from the inside, and that's what matters. Of course, people, it's okay to care about your exterior and take pride in how you look, but for me, changing myself via surgery and having the implants permanently just didn't sit right with me. And this is kind of a separate topic, like it's the same topic, but it's just kind of a different section of kind of my thoughts on the whole cosmetic world in terms of like surgeries and just enhancements and yeah, changes to your face and stuff like that and your body. I seen an image one day on Instagram and it really stuck with me. It was actually posted by a male, but it was honest, and it was actually nice and interesting to see it coming from a man's point of view. But he basically posted a woman who was post-op, and she had bandages on her stomach because she had had a tummy tuck. She had bandages on her thighs and bum because she had had a bum job or a butt lift or whatever you want to call it. And then she had fat injected into her thighs and stuff like that. And the boob job. And I think she even had like her neck and jawline kind of like changed and her face reconstructed. And he said, my gosh, this is what it takes to be a baddie bee these days. Why are women putting themselves through these things? And I sat and I cried and cried. It just hit a nerve when I seen it. And I became so upset, and it really made me think back to that time in my life where I was so sure of what I wanted to do in changing my body. And it made me think of all the young girls or women, grown women today who feel that pressure. And for me, it's never about judging people for getting these things done, because for me, I actually do have sympathy and empathy, and I feel as a woman, I just want to tell these women that if you're doing it, ask yourself deep down, what are the reasons you're doing it for? And no matter how much someone will try to tell you, you know, it's not that I don't like myself, it's just I want to do this for me and it's going to make me feel better. Ultimately, when we are born, we are not born hating ourselves and hating our bodies and wanting to change. We're born free and just living. And society and marketing and so many different industries attack